Hello, everybody. Welcome to another MXGP virtual studio show, part of our MXGP at Home series over the last 4 months or so, with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, where today's guest will be Ben Watson, the Monster Energy Yamaha MX2 rider. And we'll talk to him in just a moment. But Lisa, welcome to another one of these. And I tell you what, there is light at the end of the tunnel because I think we've got one more to do next Saturday. So things are looking up.
I know, definitely. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, as you said. But, you know, these studio shows have been great to kind of keep up to date with the riders and keep everyone posted on the latest news. But, I mean, they've been fantastic, but it's not quite the same, is it, Paul, as being at a racetrack, actually feeling that energy. So I'm super excited to get back to it and seeing everyone face to face for the first time in like 4 months. So fingers crossed. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Me too. Well, look, let's crack on with this one. And as I said, Ben Watson is just the other side of the canal from where I live. Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 rider. Welcome, Ben. Long time no see.
Yeah, definitely. Long time.
Well, look, it's almost time to go racing again. There was a calendar out last week. What are your thoughts on that before we... you don't have to dwell too much, but looks all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously we've been away from the racing for so long now that, you know, any kind of race or, you know, just to get back on the start line, it's going to be, a big relief. And I think everyone's just so excited to actually get on a plane and just go somewhere again and actually do something. So, yeah, no, it's definitely going to be different. But no, I think everyone's really excited to get back to the races.
Yeah,
well, we've got just 7 stand rounds over the next 14 races. That should be pretty easy. Should be a breeze for you, shouldn't it?
Yeah, no. Obviously, I love the sand, so that's definitely a benefit for me. And I think some riders probably see, you know, a load of sand races on the calendar and say, "Oh, this is going to be tough." But no, that gives me an extra boost.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, looking at those sand races, we've got a couple of triple headers. We've got 3 in Latvia, 3 in Lommel, 1 in Mantova. But each of those tracks come with their own different challenges, don't they? And from the outside, you can say, yeah, they're sand. But for people watching that, you know, maybe don't ride too much sand, or let's say in England, you know, where you've probably got a good fan base, where they probably ride Fat Cat or whatever, you know, sand isn't the same everywhere you go, is it? So what are the differences between Latvia, between Lommel and Mantova in terms of the challenges that you might face in terms of setup or the way that the track rides?
Yeah, like in Latvia, it's the base is a lot harder. Underneath, the bumps and everything get quite, you know, smaller, a lot more choppy. And then, for example, if you go into Lommel, it's like a much more of a soft all the way through kind of sand, and the bumps tend to get a lot bigger, more kind of wavy, and it does take a complete different riding style, to be fair. And even as far as it goes with like bike setup, I mean, you'll still run the sand tire, which is a complete different pattern to on a hard pack track, but you know, there is quite a lot of difference in how the track rides and how the bike needs to be set up actually.
Well, there looks like there's going to be a couple of pre-season restart races, end of July, beginning of August. Will you be lining up for those or not?
Yeah, so the plan is going to be to go to Faenza next weekend and just try and have a little look at the track there and just get back into the groove of racing a little bit, get back behind the start gate and enjoy myself getting out there again. And then I think I'll do one of the Dutch races, maybe in Arnhem or Axel. There's going to be an event, so yeah, I'm going to try and do at least 2 races and just get back in the groove a little bit before Latvia.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to this season. Matterley, your home GP, didn't really go to plan, did it? Just talk us through both those races. I know you probably don't want to go back there, but just tell us how was it from your end?
Yeah, so in the pre-season races, I had a really good time in Sardinia, and everything went really, really good. And I was feeling the best I ever had on the bike. And then I had a good race in Sardinia, and unfortunately, it was Tuesday after I went back to the race and to the track where we raced, and I had a crash in one corner, and obviously, you know, landed on my hand a bit funny, and just kind of went back to where I was during Indonesia in the 2019 season. And I had to have a good few weeks off the bike again. And I could do just 2 days on the bike before Matterley in 4 weeks' time. So it was really, I didn't have enough time on the bike, and I was still in quite a lot of pain during that race. So nothing, the feeling was just not there. And with how it was with the weather and missing, the practice sessions on Saturday, it was just, not the weekend for me. And even going into Valkenswaard, it was still missing that bike time comparing to some other guys. And I mean, I improved quite a lot. I did again another couple of days riding in the week, and then we went to Valkenswaard, and that was a step, but still not where I really wanted to be.
Well, before we talk about Valkenswaard, obviously you just mentioned it then, actually missing that Saturday. When we restart the new calendar in Latvia, it's going to be a one-day format. Matterley was almost a one-day format. You just had a free and a time practice on the Saturday and then straight into Sunday. And as you just said, you missed a lot of bike time. A lot of people did. So do you think you and maybe some of the other riders will miss that Saturday over the next 14 rounds?
No, definitely not. For me, I can get used to a track quite quickly. But the problem with Matterley and why I kind of needed those, warm-up sessions on Saturday was just because I missed so much time on the bike before the race. But now, it's going to be the same for everyone. Everyone's going to have just that one time training practice session before the races. So it's just a matter of getting out there, getting the laps in, just try to get you feeling and as quick as possible, and then go for it. But no, for me, that's going to be no problem.
How important is a qualifying race on a Saturday in terms of getting bike set up and getting rid of arm pump ahead of the race on Sunday? Maybe you just kind of answered it from your side there already a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first races, you always feel a little bit tense and tight, and it does take a couple of sessions in the morning to really loosen up and just get back into it. But we've done a few races, and we've all been riding the bike a long time now, and we're all just ready to go racing. So it's going to be, I think everyone's just going to accept that that's what it is. And when you go into it with the mentality that that's how it's going to be, it'll just it will feel a little bit more normal than what maybe everyone's expecting.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention Valkenswaard, not enough bike time, but it was a much better weekend for you, wasn't it? 2 top 5 finishes in really tough conditions.
Yeah. Again, like Saturday, I was not really feeling that great. I was struggling. I had quite a good feeling on the bike, but I was just struggling with the intensity during the lap times. And I put a few good sections together, but I wasn't really anything spectacular, let's say. And then Sunday morning, I took 2 consistent starts and just had 2 solid rides where I didn't make any mistakes. I just kept plugging away, and I came away with a 5th and a 4th. So bearing in mind everything that had gone on, before, and still having a little bit of a niggly feeling in my hand, it was a positive weekend and definitely something that I could build on.
It did seem that it took you a little time to settle in race 2. You went from 7th to 8th before a late charge back to 4th. Just tell us, why was that?
I think it was just because I was going for, like the long run. It was a chaos, kind of everything in the race was just going on, and it was raining heavy, and people were pulling in, and I just kind of got in a groove and settled, and I knew that the pace that I was on, I was just going to carry on through the whole motor. And even if I didn't have any goggles on or whatever, I was just going to keep plodding away at that same pace. And it was really kind of good for me because I'm quite consistent, and in those conditions, when I get in my groove, I can just keep plugging away and try not to make some mistakes. So it was definitely positive.
Actually, is that the toughest you've had conditions wise around there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a couple of years ago when it was snowing in 2018 was horrible to ride in, but I think the track was more tricky this time.
Yeah, at least that was just cold. This one was just a quagmire, just bottomless.
It was horrible.
You did mention your hand injury that you picked up in Sardinia earlier on in the year, just before the season got underway, GP wise. I guess presumably now the lockdown that we've had, the period that we've had off from racing, you've had a chance to get yourself 100%. So I guess you're really looking forward to the restart now because you are 100% or close to it.
Yeah, no, like after Valkenswaard, honestly, I went riding again and I didn't have almost any pain. So it was, I was ready to get going at that point. And then obviously the whole thing with coronavirus, and then I came back home and was just kind of chilling, like didn't really know what to do with myself. I was just doing stuff in the garden and just, like it was a really strange time, but it was one of the things that everyone had to, stick to and respect. And that was the way it went. So I definitely had time to, recover 100% and think about more mentally, where I can be better and what have you. So no, I enjoyed it, and it's good to spend time with family and friends. And yeah.
Well, look, digressing a little bit, I know you like to get out on the trials bike every now and again, especially in the off season. Did you manage to get out on the trials bike at all during lockdown whilst you were back home in England?
No, not at all, actually. The problem was just like, you're supposed to stay in your house, and my personal sponsor, Contract Furniture Group, Richard has a nice track in his field back at his house, and he was saying, come round, we'll go on the pit bikes or the trials bikes. And then you've got your mum saying like, no, it's too dangerous, don't do anything during this time, and
we'll call the police.
You just have to respect everything. And no, I didn't get out even on the trials bike, which was not so nice.
Well, actually, didn't you and your brother Nathan enter a trials event in the off season? And didn't you show him who was boss then?
Well, we did. I entered we did a trials competition. It was around Christmas time, I think. And it was really wet. And we was pretty close all the way through. And then, it was coming towards the end. And I'd put some fuel in my bike, and Nathan said, nah, I'm going to carry on. And it was, to the point where we didn't really know who was ahead. And on one of the last sections, his bike ran out of fuel during the section. So he got a 5 for that. And then on the end, we got the results back, and I beat him by something like 3. So, I won.
Showed him who's boss. Consider that payback for the way that you treat your car when you're over here, eh?
I know.
or is that only your dad that does that?
Car. No, it's everyone. Whoever comes round, go for a spin.
So just to give you a backstory, Ben's car, his beloved car, is back home in England at the moment. He's got his trick pipe on it, and it's But while he's over in Belgium, dad, brother, jump in it, treat it like a race car.
Yeah, just so many videos doing donuts and all sorts.
Oh, mate. Well, look, back to the championship. We've got 9 rounds in 7 weeks, and obviously that one-day format will come into play. But so too will consistency, won't it? It's not going to be easy, though, is it? It's only one-day format, but you've got a lot of races crammed in together.
Yeah,
it's going to be a real challenging time for everybody, I imagine. Riders, teams, mechanics, everybody.
Yeah, like it's normally we'll do a race and then we'll come back. You have a couple of days to recover. You'll do 1 or 2 days back on the bike, and then Friday you'll travel to the GP. So now it's going to be like Sunday. You're going to have just a couple of days, and then you're back racing on Wednesday. So, it's not 2 days, but the intensity of them 2 motos and the qualifying, you're going to need a bit of recovery, and it's going to be strange to see if people, try to get out on the bike in between the races, or if they just, take the rest and do a little bit of training and then continue. And it's definitely going to be different, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of path everyone takes to doing the races. But I don't think I'm going to do any riding in between, just more focus on the races, and we'll see how it goes.
I was going to ask that, actually. Whilst the idea to go ride during the week at some point might be nice, the reality is going to be so much different, isn't it? Racing on Sunday, day off Monday, the Europeans are going to be riding Tuesday, you're back on a bike on Wednesday racing. If anything, the only time that you could go and ride would between Wednesday and Friday, but by then you've already done 2 GPs. you probably just need that extra
Yeah,
recovery time.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, once this all gets going and it's like this Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, and then you're coming back, and you know the nations is going to be in the mix, and it's going to be flat out. And I think maybe in the beginning people are going to want to, you know, get on the bike and get really into it, and then towards the end it's going to start getting a bit more heavy for everyone, and then they might actually think about that, you know, if they had some more recovery and that could have paid off. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But I think everyone's just so excited to get back to it and can't wait.
Yeah. Just need to keep everything in check though, don't you, as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to respect everything to make sure that we can keep going.
Actually, I guess there'll be no takeouts because everyone will be social distancing.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
No, we'll have the mask on and the helmet.
No first turn crashes. Yeah. Everyone 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
It'd be a wide start gate, wouldn't it?
Oh, wide.
Okay, Ben, we have a couple of photos and videos for you. And if you could just tell us what's going on in them and what they mean to you. All right, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, the first one is not a bad way to end the day, is it? Not bad company to spend it with either at this round in Russia.
No, yeah. So that was my first ever podium. First race, I finished sixth. No, first race, I finished third. And yeah, I was thinking about the podium, and I remember Hans coming up to me saying, yeah, I need a clean shirt just in case you get on the podium. And, you know, I'm not superstitious, but I'm not the guy to, before it's happened, like, go give in a clean shirt for the podium and stuff, just because, yeah, you know, it's not over until it's over. And I remember giving him the shirt, and I came over the line in the second race in sixth, and I thought, oh, there it's gone. And yeah, I rode up the hill at Russia towards the pit lane, and I saw Hans and Marnik and my mechanic Ludo, everyone waiting there for me, and they said, yeah, you're podium. And yeah, the emotions hit me. It was like one of the best feelings I've ever had, still to this day.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, next one. Just tell us, is this your idea of winter training?
Yeah. So
that's Vulcan That's Vulcan Sword a couple of rounds.
Yeah, 2018,
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, so that's another kind of cool thing that my brother Ryan can do with his little company he's got going on, Watson Designs. And yeah, he just did that for Christmas, I think it was. And just something for my social media, and just to say, you know, Merry Christmas and what have you.
You know what that is?
Sorry?
Do you know what that was, that picture?
The scrub on the
Yeah. It was snow toe shopped.
Oh, come on.
Oh, here comes the dad jokes.
This is typical
here comes
Paul.
The dad jokes from Paul.
Yeah.
Snow toe shop.
Oh, we've missed you, Paul. Okay, up next. This one is you representing Team GB. A bit of a mud bath here, wasn't it?
Yeah, where was that? Red mud.
This has definitely been planned from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Redbud. I remember that race, again, one of the most amazing races in my career. It was my first ever Nations, of course, and to do it with Tommy and Max Anstey, two good friends. We had, like, even just like before the race, I flew out there on the Tuesday, and yeah, we had an amazing time just playing golf, and kind of, it was the last race of the season. We was all pretty chilled out, and yeah, first race I took the outside gate, and I think it was Tommy took the inside gate, and then unfortunately his bike stopped. So the next race they put me on the inside, and I got a real good start. I was in third, I think, and then I remember me, Prado, and Hunter Lawrence. I had an amazing race. The 3 250s battling out, and yeah, I finished fourth in the end. So I was, yeah, what a way to end the season. And in the end, we had the podium. So it was, yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. That's good day.
Yeah, very.
Okay, next up. Obviously, this is going to be you on the left, but who's the little monkey on the right?
Yeah, no. So Indonesia that year, I remember they were so friendly. And I went back this year with my girlfriend, Georgia, and they were absolutely mental. Like, they just wanted to attack you. And it was like they kind of got used to what the tourists were really doing, and they were proper taking advantage. I remember I had a bag of nuts in the backpack, and I was with Feather at this time, and he put his hand in the bag to give them some nuts, and then they obviously clocked that they were in there, and they were just completely attacking me, and I binned the bag and just ran.
Well,
So
while
the
we're on
picture is not what they look like.
While we're on the subject, just tell us, what is your favourite breed of monkey?
I can't believe you pulled that one out of the bag again.
I've had this question already before.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I think it's appropriate, don't you? We've got a monkey. He's feeding a monkey.
We did tell him there'll be no monkeys on this one.
We did, didn't we?
And there's two in that picture.
Moving swiftly on, just tell us, can you pick a deeper rut next time?
A deeper rut next time?
Yeah, that's pretty deep there, eh? Right way down to the swing arm.
That is Vulcansward, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely Vulcansward. Yeah, no, those conditions are definitely tricky, but just that's what I like, when it's nice and technical, and actually slows everything down a little bit.
Actually, that illustrates, doesn't it, as well, how the lines do get deep, particularly in the sand track, that we don't always see on TV. You guys are pretty much up to speed, attacking everything. But then when you see how deep you are in that rut there, the control and everything else, the focus, the concentration, all has to be together, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw, there was a slow-mo video, I think it was on the MXGP page of Paulin, and he was on the back wheel going through those waves. I think the same place where that is, and until you really see it in slow motion, you can't understand how deep the bike's going, and where your feet are, and how much your body's moving on the bike, and how loose you have to be. It was nice to see the video like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next up, just tell us, not sure if you're collecting air miles in this next one or training for your pilot's license, but that's pretty cool, that.
Yeah,
air miles or pilot's license.
That's Jake Nichols' track. That's his home track. That's literally in his garden at home, and what a dream it is to have something like that in your garden. But no, Jake and Guy, they always really welcome me to their place, and it's such it's like one of the best tracks you could ride anywhere, and he has it in his garden. So it's really lucky. But even the jumps aren't really that big, but it's just the scenery behind you, and like being in that valley, it's just it makes it look real special.
Okay, well, that's it for our pictures and videos, but we do have some questions on Facebook for you, Ben.
Okay.
The first one is from Live Motocross magazine, and they say, what has been the best moment of your career to date?
There's three moments that really ping out to me, and of course my first ever podium was a real special one, and one of them things that you can tick off your bucket list, let's say, of what you want to achieve being a motocross rider, and a world championship podium was always something that I had on my mind from a kid. And then, of course, the 2018 Motocross of Nations was amazing, because it was one of them races where it didn't mean anything towards a championship or something, but it had such a great feeling because the whole of your country is supporting you at that moment, and it's one of the most watched races of the season, and to go and have a really good race like I did. I remember Sunday evening, the feeling that I had from the whole season, finishing fourth in the world, and then having a great nations, and that was a real special one. And then actually the Lommel podium was just a big realization of what you can do even if you're not prepared, because I broke my hand, and then I went to Indonesia with the plate in, and I pulled the plate out of the bone and bent everything again. So I came to Lommel. I had 5 weeks without riding, and I did just 2 days during the week before Lommel, and I said to the team, I think I'm going to race this weekend. I feel good, and I just want to get back out there and keep going. And Saturday was fine. My speed was not very good, and the team were just kind of saying, keep going, it's fine. Just get the laps in. And I came away Sunday with a podium, and it was just, that one was quite emotional. My parents were there, and yeah, it was just so unexpected. And I remember Sunday evening after that race as well, just being like, what's just happened?
Yeah.
Actually, out of the two podiums, Russia or Lommel, which is the one that holds the most value for you?
I mean, they both got different feelings behind them. The first one, I expected a little bit more. I was really getting close each time to the podium and just missing out a few times by 1 point, and then it came. It was a little bit more expected. Whereas Lommel, I was injured, and I went back home for a few weeks and didn't even want to think about bikes. I was so frustrated because the season was going, bad. It was going really bad, and I ended up injuring myself. So I just went home and I was spending a bit of time with some friends, and honestly didn't even, really think about bikes. And I came back to Belgium just during the week before Lommel. And I got back out on the bike for a couple of days just to see how I was feeling. And I said, I'm going to race Lommel. And then it came that I had a podium, and it was just, really, unexpected. And kind of made me realize, you can do it. That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
Brilliant. Okay. Next question is from Emerson Ross. If you were to do anything else for a career, what would it be?
For anything else for a career, I don't know, because ever since I was able to stand on my own 2 feet, I was put on a bike, and it was just for the fun all the way through. And then I started actually being quite good, and my dad put me in a few races, and he was racing full time himself, and then I had 2 older brothers that were doing the same. Just we was on the pit bikes every night after school in the garden, and just full time bikes, and that's all I've really ever known. So I don't know if I'm half skilled at anything else, to be honest, because riding a bike is just all I've done. But I think it would definitely be something motorsport related, like car racing, or something with an engine, I think. Definitely.
Okay. Simo89, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? I'm a bit of a foodie. I'll eat absolutely anything. And the thing for me, that's something I also enjoy when racing, is going to all these different countries and experiencing new things. But no, I like all food. A good piece of steak is top of my list, I reckon.
3 minutes.
Defo.
Still moving.
2 minutes 30.
No, it has to be well done for me.
No. I've got a pair of boots in the garage that I'd rather eat. You know what I mean? Than that.
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Crazy 111. Do you have a pet?
Yes, I have a dog and also a cat, but I don't see them anywhere near enough as what I'd like to. My dog, he's 13 and a half now, so he's cracking on, and he's getting a bit clumsy now, so it's quite funny, but it's hard to see them. My parents are always sending me photos and videos of him just doing stupid stuff, or falling over. Now his back legs are going, but he's doing good, and dog's a favorite. Yeah, Sprocket.
Sprocket. Good old Sprocket. Okay. Jamie 5 Alloy 05. Out of the Watson brothers, who is the fastest?
Well, it depends. I've done a few races with Nathan where he's beat me by 5 minutes, because it's a 3-hour enduro race, what he kind of specializes in at the moment. And then he also came to the Belgian International during last season, and I beat him when it was a motocross race. So it just depends. But no, obviously you saw he raced in the Motocross of Nations last year for GB, and he hadn't raced in motocross for a long time, and he absolutely loved it. And I think if we was both racing full-time motocross, he's on a 450, I'm on a 250, you never really know the real who is the faster rider. But no, it's I remember the Belgian Championship was yeah, he got a better start than me, and it was just all I was focused on was beating Nathan. I didn't care who else it was in the race. I just wanted to beat my brother.
Yeah.
But then, I did like a pre-season race in December, part of his French beach race championship. And I got beat by like 5 minutes. So yeah,
that's a different thing altogether, though. What he does, the beach races and everything else. They're just the guys are just on it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's quite a lot to it. Like the fuel stops and when you change your goggles and you have to do part of the championship to get on the front row of the start line. And there is a lot towards getting a good result of those races. And to be so fast for 3 hours is also something that I was really not prepared for. And those guys were going flat out for the whole time. So it was definitely a good experience.
Okay,
cool.
Brilliant. Okay, track limits 1. What do you do to warm up before a race?
It just depends where I am. Also, what the conditions are like outside. For example, if it's like Valkenswaard when it was snowing, you have to do a big warm up and some stretches and all sorts just to, before you go out there, that when you're coming back from your session, you've not like pulled all your muscles completely. But no, I would just do a bit of normal stuff like jumping on the spot and just anything that just gets your heart rate up a little bit. I don't really do anything specific like to warm my arms up or just my legs. Just anything that gets the heart rate up a little bit. And even with the adrenaline, you're always pumped and ready to go. But if the conditions are warm and you're feeling loose or whatever, then honestly sometimes I don't even do anything.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Sven Van H, what's your favorite MXGP track?
Favorite MXGP track? It's hard to say. Sometimes I can go to a track and if I'm riding good, then I'll really enjoy it. And for example, sometimes I can go there and it can be such an amazing track, but if you don't really feel too good, then you're not enjoying it. And like I have that feeling with Argentina, it's such an amazing place. The track is unbelievable, but I smashed my foot there and missed the whole of that season. So the vibe on that track for me is I have like a bit of a negative feeling about it, but then I also have had some amazing results there. And I finished 4-4 in the heats and 3rd in the qualifying race in 2018 there. So, I can ride there good. And as a package, Argentina is probably my favorite, just from the food and just everything involved. It's such an amazing place. But you can go to places also like Russia, where I had my first podium. It's also, when you look at the place, such a cool track and it's so big and nice jumps and through the hills and stuff over the sea. But the conditions after a little while, they're like glass. And you have to be a little bit careful there, and sometimes that makes it not so enjoyable. So, but overall, I would say Argentina.
Nice. Okay, well, that's it for all our social questions. Thanks, guys, for sending them all in, and thanks, Ben, for answering them for us.
Thank you.
Cool. And that brings us to the end then. So, Ben, what are your plans for the rest of the day?
So this afternoon I'm going riding local to Lommel, so not even 10 minutes away, which is good. But just doing a little bit today, so go local, just get a few laps in and have a bit of fun in the nice weather. It's sunny today for once.
I know. Just we mentioned that earlier before we came on air, sort of like already mid-20s, so it makes a change for once.
Definitely.
But anyway, Ben Watson, Monster Energy, Yamaha Factory Racing, MX2. Thanks for joining us today. And thanks to you, Lisa, as well, as always, and our production crew down there in Italy, Christian and Gabriele, for another fantastic production. We'll be back with our final studio show in a week's time, so a week today. So join myself and Lisa for that. Hope you've enjoyed the show today and enjoyed what Ben's had to say as well. And we'll see you in a week's time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.